Hey everyone, and welcome back for today's video, which I'll tell you now was an absolute blast to record, and I hope you guys will enjoy it as much as I did. On that note, I am aiming to hit 500 subs by the end of the year, so please, if you do go on to enjoy the video, help me out by smacking the subscribe button down below. But now, without further ado, let's head to the grid. So here we are on the grid, but because of two off tracks in quali, I am starting right at the back. But to be honest, it's not such a bad thing as you look at the piles and piles of cars lining up in front. But here we go, the lights are green and we are underway. We've had a pretty clean getaway and we've got a bit of space in front with only two cars behind us. We're going to leave the inside open. We're not going to want to fight this or get taken out on the opening corner. We can see the cars hustling up in front, but we've managed to get through T1 pretty clean, albeit being in second last, which is not great. But as we come through this quick right-hander, all 21 of us, or 24 of us, are going to be piling into the chicane. Surely there must be carnage. We almost rear-end that car. And yes, there is carnage. Smoke everywhere. Cars left, right. I hit the brakes and I managed to weave through. But just like that, I've gone from P21 to 15 in a matter of corners. But that was definitely going to happen. Somebody was going to cause that carnage on the opening lap. It was just inevitable. So many cars going through such a tight corner. What else was going to happen as we go past another car, picking up another place as he pits. But here we are. Here's a replay then of what actually happened. This was the car that overtook us into turn one and was just up ahead in front of us. He goes into the corner, no brakes. He tries to avoid a car, cuts the curb and just cleans out one car, which then causes another car to get cleaned up. But here is another view. You can see us in the background there. But I don't know what he was doing. He just decided not to brake, try to avoid the cars in front by cutting the corner. And he just ended up cleaning up two instead, and then plus more trying to avoid. It is just classic F4 chaos, to be honest. But it was so unnecessary. But here we are on lap 2. We've managed to settle into P13, but we've had a little bit of a slow exit on that corner, which is going to allow Jonas Rodriguez to get down our inside into the chicane, and we are not going to fight that move because it would only slow us down. But we're going to try stick with him here. We're in a slipstream through these fast corners where you can gain heaps of time, but I'm a little bit scared on cold tires and cold brakes, so I'm going to ease through the corners. I'm not going full flat like I usually would, letting off slightly as we've got another car off, actually two cars on the right. One went flipping and the other into the tire wall. So we are now up into P11, but we are still close behind Jonas in front. So let's see if we can get a move done, hopefully soon, so we can get beyond him and look to chase after the other drivers in front. I do feel like I have decent pace around this track as we've got another car off who almost rejoined straight into us, but we managed to keep it clean on the inside and avoid him. But as I was saying, I have felt like I've had decent pace around this track in this car. It's a pretty good combination for me as we have yet another car off the track at the chicane. And that is us up into the top 10, P9 actually. But yeah, so I feel like I have decent pace and I definitely think I could be fighting for a top 5 place here if I can just get the laps in and get beyond some of the drivers. But as we round the final corner, we have had an almighty run in comparison to Jonas, and we are gaining with slipstream. We're going to pull to the inside. He's going slightly defensive, but not enough, so we're going to send it down the inside, but we keep it nice and tight, which is going to allow him the run and the grip around the outside, and he's going to just have his nose in, which isn't going to allow me to turn in there, so I'm going to have to go around the outside and give him the place back. That was pretty clean, good racing through that first two corners there. But it is definitely far from over as we are still right up on his tail. But what we want to make sure is that Jamie behind does not, or Brandon, as Jamie has an accident. We do not want the cars behind to catch up because of our fighting with Jonas. But we're going to put our head down and see if we can get some good corners to try and get the move done. He's a little bit shaky through that final corner, which is going to allow us another run. But this time, he's not going to be caught sleeping. He's going to pull to the inside straight away, going defensive. It's going to force us to the outside. We're not going to be able to get a move done there. It's super hard to hold it around the outside or dive down the outside. Either way, super hard to hold that move and get the overtake. But maybe it will work as we keep following him now. This is on to lap 5, or now lap 6. And we have been following him for 4 laps. We've been at it, fighting each other. But we have not managed to get the move done yet. But we've got a good run on him now. Up this short little straight into the second last corner. We're going to have to let off just a little bit so we don't run into the back of him. But through this last corner, we're going to have a heap of slipstream now. And a very good run. Look at that. We're going to be pulling up right alongside him as we switch to the TV cam. As we are side by side into the first corner. We're going to go for the move around the outside. Again, we actually get about half a car length in front. But it's not going to work as he managed to squeeze us out. And he pulls back in front. Where we dive back to the racing line and try to get a good exit. Hoping to get a good run into the chicane maybe. Could possibly go for a move at the chicane, but it is very, very sketchy. So we're going to just sit behind him for now. But you can see the two cars behind are gaining and gaining because we are just fighting and slowing ourselves down. But we are still in his slipstream. We're still less than half a second behind. And you can see we cut back now to our cockpit footage. We are super close and we're just all over the back of him, just waiting for one little mistake like that as he runs a little bit onto the grass for us to capitalize and get the move done. We are actually in P6 now, so we've had even more accidents happen while we've been racing Jonas, and that is meaning we are fighting for a top 5 place here, which, as I said before, is where I felt I could be. But now we head to lap 9, so we have now been fighting for 8 laps, and I am still on his tail, and I do have Brandon behind as well, 0.2, but Jonas goes a little bit wide, and that's opened the door for us down the inside. He's still going to be on the outside, so we're going to have to leave him room, and sadly, because of the second corner being a left-hander, he has the better line, or the better defensive line to hold the position, but now he has been put offline a little bit, so we're going to be all over the back of him. Are we going to go for a move here? We're on the inside, we are going to dive down the inside, but I wasn't quite committed to the overtake, and that has allowed him to hold the position. I could have actually gone for it properly and not been half in the mind of going, half in the mind of backing out, and I might have got the move done. But at the same time, if I had done that, I might have caused an accident. But we live to fight another day, and we have had an absolutely incredible run once again. Jonas is going to go defender, so I'm going to pull to the outside. We've got the slipstream, and we catapult around the outside. Are we going to be able to get the move done this time? About 5th time lucky. He's holding onto the inside line. We've run it wide. We're side by side. I'm going to hold it back down the inside, but he's just got a little bit better grip on the outside, and it's super, super tight. Our front wing almost touching his rear end, but he manages to hold on to the position once again, and we have now been fighting for 10 laps, and I'm still stuck behind him, and all I can think about right now is P4 Luca Perez slowly pulling off into the distance. He's now got a 10-second gap. So this is really a fight for P5, because if none of us are getting or catching up to P4, that's for sure. But we are now heading on to lap 12. We've got a good slipstream yet again and a pretty decent run. Brandon behind seems to have had an accident, because we now have Lian Kun behind in 1.8 seconds. We'll be going for another move around the outside, but we can't make it sticky yet again. His inside line is just seeming much, much more effective in this battle for P5. But we go through the quick right hand. He's gone a little bit wide, not had the greatest line, which has allowed us to gain a bit. But I'm going to try dummy to the inside, but I'm not going to go for a move. There's no way I'm going to risk it again. I don't want to put too many chances like that out there for an accident to happen. But look at us. We are still right on his rear end. This is absolutely brilliant racing. Probably the best close battle I've ever had on iRacing and have ever made a video of. But we get an incredible run. So Jonas has to pull straight away to the inside. And this is now a drag race to the first corner. Are we going to be able to pull ahead? We're going to break way later than him. And he was about half a car length behind. Surely this is the time that we can hold onto the position. We give him plenty of room. But we're still side by side. But into the second corner, I have the inside line. The dominant line if you are far enough ahead. And we manage to get the move done. After 12 laps of hard battling between Jonas and I've finally managed to get the move done up into P5. What a race. And I did congratulate him after the race for this, because this was absolutely incredible, our battle. But here's a replay from Jonas's onboard then. You can see we're just on the outside, and through the second corner, I was just a little bit too far ahead for him to use the grip on the outside and get around me. But that is us up into P5 now. We go on to lap 16, so it is, 3 laps, a little bit of a gap. We've got yellow flags in front. 2 back markers as well. And this green back marker in front, you're going to see he is going to cause problems. But the back marker in front spins, and we almost go straight into him. We have to get onto the grass to avoid, and that is us with our 4th incident of the race. But that was much too close for comfort. You can see he spins across, and we have to go all the way onto the grass, almost losing it, soaring at the wheel to keep it going straight. But yeah, as I said, that was much too close. See that? Oh, that's super tight. No, I'm not going to blame it on him because it was a spin. He didn't seem to intentionally do it. But that was too close for my comfort. And kudos to him. He does stop and he doesn't move and then slowly reverses off the track. So he was very predictable in that situation, allowing the other cars to get past easily. But we do have the back marker of Alfonso in front. And unlike other back markers I've had that have been super nice, I'm asking him for him to move. But instead, he decides to stay in front. And we switch again to the TV cam for this. Because he ruined my race pretty much. Or he didn't ruin it. It was still a good race. But he really made it hard. As there, he lets us through. But in such a bad spot that I have to dive down the inside and super slow. Which now allows the driver behind to gain on me and pull into my slipstream. So I'm going to have to go defensive here. And Alfonso, the back marker, is still in it, trying to fight both of us. And this is just getting ridiculous now. As the driver behind is looking for a move, but I managed to hold onto it on the inside, as we saw Jonas do plenty earlier in the race. But I'm still defensive. I'm fending off P6 because I want this P5 position. I want the top 5. We cut back to the cockpit footage now. Leon Kun is 0.3 behind and Alfonso right on his tail. But we go a little bit deep into the chicane. We have to slow down an extra amount to avoid hitting the deadly sausage curves, which has allowed Leon Kun around the outside. We're going to hold him off, not quite. He has made an incredible move. We are side by side heading into the final corner. Super sketchy to go around, but Leon Kun gets the move done, and what a move that was. I have to hand it to him. I would not have had the guts to send it around the outside of both the second last corner and the final corner. But now we can see Alfonso is getting even more annoying as he tries to battle me, forcing me to go defensive into the first corner. And now he's all over the back of us. I don't know what he's doing because he is tearing my focus away from Leon Kun in front and is forcing me into many mistakes, which is allowing Kun to slowly pull away. And as we head on to lap 24, Leon was 1.8 seconds ahead. He managed to pull the gap because of Alfonso. I could not focus on him. Andreas Manni, who was P4, did make a mistake which forced them to fight each other to the line. I was praying they'd come together. I know it's not great, but I was hoping they'd come together to get that P5 position. But sadly, it did not arrive, and I had to settle for P6. But what a race. It was absolutely incredible. 13 laps of hard battling, and I managed to prevail, coming out in P6. As you can see there, I did end up gaining 57 iRating, which is an incredible amount, and 0.08 safety rating. Also a big amount that I need. As you can see, my safety rating is a little bit low. I need to get that up so I can hopefully get to A class by the end of the season. And a big shout out to my friend who did finish P1, as you can see on the leaderboard there, who I was hoping to have a battle with at some point in the race, but sadly did not. Now I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Make sure you go down below, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.